Florida versus Georgia preview, the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. This has been the game I've looked forward to the most every year since 2014, since I've been watching this. Since I've been watching Florida Gator football, this is always the game I look forward to the most. Florida, Georgia. This is my biggest rival. I think Georgia's my biggest rival.
Totally
FSU.
Agree. It's not even particularly close for me. It's honestly not even that close for me.
Yeah, I hate Georgia more than I hate FSU, and that was even before Georgia. I was early pre-Kirby Smart as well, so this goes back a long ways.
And I'm biased here because I feel the same way as you do about this game. I'm born and raised in Jacksonville. I grew up going. I haven't gone the last couple of years. I don't think I've gone to one of these since 22 in person. But before that, I had gone to almost all of them since 2006 or 7. So this game is very special to me. It being in Jacksonville is very special to me, and I care a lot about it. So I'm completely with you. The FSU thing doesn't really compare, especially because for most of my formative years in college football were like the FSU dark years. So they just weren't competitive versus the Georgia game was Urban Meyer playing a top 10 Georgia team for the SEC East. So just always kind of meant a little bit more.
Yeah, I've gone to the last 3 because AR then. Wait, have I gone to the last 4? I went last year. Then Graham Mertz, we had a touchdown drive on the first drive, right? And then, did I go in 2022? I may have not gone in 2022. I went in 2021, though. So I've gone to 3 of the last 4. I can't remember if I went in 22 or not. I don't think I did. So
yeah, that was the last one I went to. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, last year hurt the most when DJ went down. I mean, I might go to this one, but might not. I don't know. Tickets are a bit more expensive than I thought they might be, so maybe I won't go this year because I'm going to Ole Miss now. So the Ole Miss games, that's gonna be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, bring the Lane Kiffin to the swamp sign, or get a Lane Kiffin Florida jersey.
If truly nothing has happened, like if we get there and there's been no reports, no signed extensions, nothing, that is going to be a pressure cooker. I mean, both these fans, well, for everyone, I'm saying both these fan bases are already losing their minds right now, just having to wait, all this time without resolution. By the time we get to that game, it's going to be boiling up.
And let's bring this a bit on track. The last time we saw Georgia was when they played Ole Miss, where they gave up a touchdown on their first 7 drives, and then the last 3 drives of the game, 3 and out, they got 1 first down.
Yeah,
on the last drive. So this Georgia defense, and I mean, this is Kirby. Kirby's always been known as one of the best second half adjusters in the country, and he's done it a lot this year. The Tennessee game, he had to make great second half adjustments. I mean, the Bama game, they came up just short. But Bama's also just has something on him. So I think Florida, I mean, we talked about it. Florida started out hot for these couple of games here, and Georgia's offenses like to start slow. I mean, they scored on every drive against Ole Miss. Our defense is a step above Ole Miss's at least, in my opinion. So I think our offense, I think we could get out to a bit of a start in this game here. I think we can go into halftime with the lead. Is that crazy to say?
I don't think it's crazy. I have a really hard time figuring out what to make of this matchup because I think this is a just fundamentally very different Georgia team to the Georgia teams that Florida has played the last few years. I don't even think they're like necessarily. I don't think they're quite as good, but I think they're a very good team. It's just like you look at the defense and it's like legitimately kind of suspect. Like there's a lot of questionable aspects of it. Whereas I actually think the offense, to me, it's really intriguing. I think these guys actually are pretty good. Like mea culpa on Gunnar Stockton, man. I think he's a pretty good player. I think, Colby Young's having a better year than he did last year. I think Zachariah Branch has helped. I think the emergence of Chauncey Bowens on the ground has helped. So point being, this is the makeup of this Georgia team is really different. So I think Florida can have a fast start on offense in this game. We've seen them have it. And so I would expect Florida scores 14 points in the first half, something like that. I mean, that's not like the hottest start imaginable, but that's a pretty hot start for Florida standards. My question is, can they shut down this Georgia offense from the jump? Because I think Georgia can punish you with, like, I think they are explosive in ways they haven't necessarily been, and can do some damage there.
Yeah, that's a truth bomb right there for that Georgia offense. Now, it's kind of funny. Mike Bobo has been the most hated guy in the state of Georgia now for the past 2 years. But this year, the offense isn't the problem.
No.
And I think
or his defense, I should say.
Yeah, I can't remember if I pointed out in here or not in the preseason, but I think I did. Georgia's offensive play calling from Bobo or from Monken to Bobo, very similar in number wise. Like they run the same plays virtually.
I think we have to get to a point with Georgia where we recognize, not we as in like, I'm really more talking about like Georgia fans here, or just like collective college football observers. Like, you can vilify Mike Bobo all you want or whatever, but I think ultimately you kind of have to accept that they're running the offense that Kirby wants to run. Like, this is the identity Kirby wants to have. It's very similar to the identity that Billy Napier wanted to have. It just, we never got it quite up and rolling as well as Georgia has under Kirby Smart at times.
No, but the talent, I think last year, that's kind of what we're going back to here, with the play calling last year being the biggest weakness, or what they said was the biggest weakness, when I think it was clearly the weapons. Oscar Delp's a good tight end, and he's been a good tight end this year, and it's like, oh, last year he didn't emerge as many would have thought. He didn't emerge as many would have thought, but he's been emerging this year. I think Gunnar Stockton. I think Stockton's fit this offense perfectly.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, he's honestly I was so skeptical about him coming into the year, and like I'm not even doing a qualified. Like he's just been very good. Not really any clear limitations or weaknesses. No, he's led them to multiple shootout wins.
He makes those difficult plays. Like, he makes those third and long, those fourth and longs in clutch time, like crunch time. He's making those difficult plays that Carson Beck just did not make. And I mean, he's not making them this year right now at Miami, I'd say. But he doesn't have to in most cases. But against Louisville, he didn't make those crunch time plays. But yeah, Gunnar's making difficult plays. Like, he's not just, oh, well, I have all these weapons. Georgia's weapons are good. Would you say Georgia's weapons are elite, though? I don't think I would say they're elite.
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's a very clear case of, I think with everything, with quarterback, with the running backs, with the receivers and the offensive line, I think it's a clear case of, the sum is greater than the parts. I think that's really, really the case with this Georgia offense, because I don't think there's like a premier. I mean, because even like Branch, who's probably the most like talented player on this offense, is still kind of a gadgety situational guy. Like, he's not like, and I think Colby Young has limited a lot of his weaknesses from last year. I mean, he had some pretty bad drop problems in 2024, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they've improved, but no, I don't think they're elite across the board. I just think they're playing together really well, and kind of just good enough across the board to make things happen.
Yeah, they're just playing as a unit. I don't necessarily, like, if you put these guys on a Billy Napier offense, they wouldn't even play half as good as they are right now.
No. Of course not.
No, but yeah, they're just playing well, and they have a different level to them. But it's not they're not susceptible to bad times or to low stretches. I guess you could say. I mean, against Alabama, they put up 21 points.
Yeah, 21, I think. Right? Wasn't that 20, like 24, 21?
Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, 24-21 sounds right. So it's not like they had a phenomenal game against Bama. Like, I think our defense could have some success. I expect Devin Moore to return, and Cormani. I expect both of them to play, which is huge. And now we have the emergence. No, it's Mississippi State. Could it be a one-game wonder of Javori Flowers?
No, I thought you were about to say Alfonso Allen. I was like, okay, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the Jordan Castell injury. I mean, he was questionable before, so probably after 2 weeks of break should be good to go. And I mean, Alfonso Allen was going to run support.
I mean, I'm not even saying that he was bad. I thought you were about to say the emergence of Alfonso Allen. I was like, let's maybe pump the brakes a
No.
little bit on that one.
I think Alfonso Allen was like a top 500 recruit out of high school. Like
he was actually pretty
talented
solid.
guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like if Jordan Castell gets hurt and isn't playing, are we really going out there being like, oh no, we were gonna win this game, but now that we don't have Castell, we have to play Allen? Are we saying that? Like, are we saying we're gonna lose now? Like, because we go from Allen to Castell?
Is that drop off even like how significant even is that drop off?
That's my point. Like, is it significant? It's not like enough for us to be like, yeah, that's a game changing injury right there. But like, and Lagonza Hayward's been played decently well at Star as well. Mm-hmm. So we have
Denson hurt for a while. What's the deal?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
we'll figure out Wednesday, I guess, or maybe tomorrow. So that's the thing with doing these shows here on Sunday, but we'll have to figure out throughout the week.
Yeah.
But I think we could have some success. I expect. I think they're going to play motivated. I think Billy G's been a part of this series for a long time, since the Urban Meyer days and Van Mullen days, and now he's here again. So it's like he's going to have a lot of emotional stake in this game. Just like Georgia will and Kirby Smart and everything. But I think the D line is going to go out there and have some emotion to them. I don't think this Georgia O line is elite. Like, I think this Georgia O line is gettable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not something out there that I'm like, yeah, they're going to beat our O line. I mean, our D line. Like, I think we have players that can still make plays. I think our linebacker room is still phenomenal. Miles Graham is just that good. Like, I think the biggest question is our corners and our safeties, like staying in health and their depth, staying healthy and everything like that. So I think I could see a world where Georgia just does have a slump, if you want to say it's a slump, or our defense, like, their offense hasn't been perfect this year. And we've seen it time and time with Bobo. Like, they can just have bad games.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see a world where we hold Georgia under 24.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it's impossible for that to happen.
Yeah, the one thing that worries me here, I do worry about Florida's health and just overall stability in the back end of the defense. I think we've seen those guys, especially like the guys who had to play. Like, I mean, like Ben Hanks not have his best game. Even Cormani, hopefully getting him back, but he's had his moments too. I do worry that you might give up some big plays here because, again, we've talked about it a lot. Those plays have been there. Shapen missed some of them. Arch Manning missed some of them. Even Marcel Reed missed some of them. I'm not sure Gunnar Stockton's going to miss them the way he's playing right now. I'm not sure he's going to miss them. So that concerns me.
I will also say, and, this leads to a slower first half. 2 weeks to prepare here for Ron Roberts. So, and you remember our game last year, Lagley got hurt and the defense was on the field for a lot of that game. But, the defense playing lights out in that first half against Georgia last year and getting time to Ron Roberts getting to scheme up things in defense and getting to see what the other team's offense is going to do. Like, I think that could maybe give the defense a hand here.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think that would help. I mean, I think in general, Florida does have a bit of an advantage here in the sense that on both sides, I mean, I think obviously defensively, Ron Roberts has the time to prepare. Not new offensive staff, but newly elevated members of the offensive staff have 2 weeks to prepare. And on Georgia's end, they don't really know what they're preparing for. I mean, it's kind of a wild card to an extent. So I think Florida has definitely some tactical advantages here. And I think Florida's going to be motivated. I mean, look, you got seniors on this team, a lot of them, none of them have beaten Georgia before. I don't think there was anyone on this team this year in 2020. So,
because Sapp was 2021 freshman.
Yeah. Normally that would be obvious. These days in college football, you got to think about
it. Yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah, none of these guys have beaten Georgia before. And you have the opportunity to, I mean, I have to look at, I don't remember who else they play aside from Georgia Tech, but I mean, if you hand Georgia a loss here, they could be potentially in position to miss the playoffs. So I think you could put their season in a really tough spot if you win this game, I'll say. So, yeah, I mean, I think all the motivation in the world for Florida, and definitely some advantages they have here, even though I don't think they have the overall like talent team advantage.
Here, DJ Lagway will personally beat Georgia, and I'm not going to say that, but this is the game where he got hurt last year. This is going to be an emotional game for him, which could be good, could be a bad thing. We don't know. So it's like there's a lot of things that not off the field, but a lot of emotional things that kind of go in Florida's way here. Mental things, I guess you could say. So I don't think it's that crazy that Florida could win this game here. And we're looking at our offense against their defense, like their defense definitely struggled. They don't really get good pressure. And as I was mentioning it earlier, like our offensive line, there's no Cassius Howell or Ruben Bain.
No.
Like Kristen Miller is a really good interior guy. So it's like, maybe he could get pressure there. I think you trust Jake Slaughter enough if he's going against him. Like, I think our offensive line could block enough for Lagway in this game, especially early on, maybe. So I think there's a good chance we jump out and have a lead early on in this game. Are you ready to get into our picks here, or is there anything else we're missing here?
I mean, the only thing I'll say that I think we haven't really talked a ton about, because we've kind of focused on Lagway and what's the passing game going to look like. Georgia, if there's one thing they are pretty solid at defensively, it's against the run.
Yeah.
Georgia's defensively, they rank number 12th nationally in EPA per rush allowed. They're 44th nationally in defensive rushing success rate. So, I mean, it's not, incredible numbers there, but that has been a strength of their defense, even though it's overall kind of struggling a bit right now. So can they make Florida get one-dimensional? Can they take a ball away? That's something I am going to be watching out for, because I think if Florida asked DJ Lagway to win this game throwing the ball 40 times, it's probably not going to end that well. But if you can establish the run and get things going, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're trying to establish a run. Yeah. How did Kawan Lacey run against Georgia?
It's a good question. I'm trying to remember what his numbers were in that game.
I think Kawan Lacey's a really good running back.
Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. If Lane's our coach next year, I mean, Baugh's great, but also would not hate having Kawan.
Okay, yeah. Trinidad was Georgia's leading rusher, and he had 42 yards. Or Ole Miss's leading rusher.
Yeah, they shut it down. So they handled that pretty well. That's what I'm saying. That is their strength. Well, that's the one thing they're pretty good at.
Let me double check something in this game. So I don't think it's just that easy. I want to check the average here. Box score, Ole Miss. Okay, yeah, Kawan Lacey, 2.6 yards. And then, yeah, the other running back. I was going to say, I mean, they hit a lot of explosive pass plays, Ole Miss did. So, like, maybe they didn't run it as much because they didn't need to. But, yeah, I mean, 2.6 yards for Lacey. And, yeah, I mean, 1 carry and 2 carries for other guys. So, yeah, they really did shut down Ole Miss's rushing attack. But, hey, maybe that allows them. And maybe they're kind of expecting Florida to be a bit more spread out. So, maybe you could try running it on them early. Maybe that's something that's going on through the coach's head. So, you never know here. But, are you ready to get into our picks now?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll go first in this scenario, I'll go first here. I think Florida's gonna. I think it's been pretty clear. I'm gonna take Florida to get an early lead. I think we're gonna lead at halftime. I think it's gonna be about, I'll say 17. I'll say 17-9. I say Georgia gets 3 field goals. I think their offense is going to be able to drive enough, but I think we bend, don't break, and just keep them out of the end zone. So it's still a 1-score game. I want to pick Florida. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to take Georgia here. I think they're going to do enough in the second half, and I think the offense, I think our depth on defense, especially in that secondary, isn't going to be enough to hold them. I'm going to say Georgia wins this game. Let me do some quick math here. 7 at 9, so 16, 23. I'll say Georgia wins it 26 to 24.
Ooh, okay.
No, it's 26-23. 26-23.
26-23. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I kind of see this one potentially playing out a bit similarly to how the A&M one did, just probably with them not pulling away to the extent that A&M was able to. I think Florida will look. I think Florida's going to come out with some bells and whistles. I think they're going to hit a couple plays. I think you will see Florida put some points on the board early in this game. Look, we know what Kirby is capable of in game adjustments. I think they will figure things out and be able to slow it down a little bit. And I do kind of think Florida's going to struggle a bit. I think we're going to see the defense give up a couple plays as well, because I think those plays have been there. I think the defense has played pretty well, but those opportunities have been there, and they have not, other teams Florida's played have not really been able to capitalize. I think they're finally playing a team that will be able to capitalize. So I see this one being tight for a while. I think honestly probably going to play out pretty similarly to the way last year's did too, just without hopefully the DJ injury. And the score I had in my head here is like Georgia 31, Florida 23.
41-23. That's what you said, right?
31-23 Georgia, yeah.
31-23. So still one score game.
Yeah.
Whoops. So we're both taking UGA here. It's kind of just like we gotta see Florida do it before we pick it. It's like Ryan Day going into the playoffs or going to the season last year. It's like, you can see their roster and see how much talent they have, even going into the playoffs. It's like you kind of gotta see them do it before you pick it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Florida won this game, but it's going to be an emotional matchup, and I think we're going to give it our all. But yeah, I think Georgia is just they're going to be better coached. The coaching experience difference in this game is, as big as it gets now with an interim coaching his first game versus Kirby Smart, the best coach in college football.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like you look at Callaway and O'Hara, and they're both Billy acolytes. Like, we really have no idea what to expect from these guys when it comes to who are they as offensive minds. Mm-hmm. So it's just a total wild card. And I think Florida could come out and look a lot better offensively. I think it's also very possible that they're just not great and that Florida comes out and looks pretty much the same way it has all year offensively. So yeah, it's really hard for me to come to like definitively tell you what I expect from the offense. At least I feel like I have a generally pretty good idea what I expect from the defense, which is
I agree
be pretty good down to down, but maybe give up some explosives here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. But hey, hopefully it's a good game at least. And, if we do pull the upset, that's, maybe things get interesting. Or especially with that game at Ole Miss. How would it look if we beat Ole Miss?
We've gotten to, it's almost must-win territory in the sense that just for the timeline of Lane.
I don't think Ole Miss is making it past the second round, and they can make it to the second round before you can't hire Lane.
You're right. They can't get past the second, but even the second, I'm not saying you don't do it, but I am saying that would be hiring a coach with like 1 day to spare before the portal opens. It's not ideal.
I think there's also, if it gets that late and we haven't hired a coach, I think it'll be it'll be obvious for one.
Well, because it's like, well, at that point, if it's Christmas Day and Florida hasn't hired a head coach and Lane is still in the playoffs and their season ends and Florida doesn't hire Lane, it's a fireable offense for all of them. Like, that is egg on the face of the entire athletic department if it comes to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But hey, Florida Georgia is going to be interesting, and hopefully it's interesting with Lane Kiffin as the coach next year, because the friendship, the friendly beef that Lane and Kirby have.
Yeah.